All of the worst MAGA pundits are melting down over this report that Thomas Matthew Crooks flew a drone over the Trump rally before the shooting. And this attempted assassination is bringing out the worst takes in all of the worst MAGA figures. Now, some people are asking valid questions about the breakdown in the Secret Service's protection, which is fair. That is totally valid. But so many MAGA politicians, so many MAGA influencers are doing this performative outrage where they try to persecute. They tried to attack the Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle, for example. They were following her around the RNC and pestering her when it's not her fault. They're also blaming this on DEI. A lot of the MAGA influencers, MAGA politicians are saying that because women were on site, because a woman is running the Secret Service, that caused the breakdown, and we have no evidence supporting that whatsoever. It seemed to be a catastrophic failure and a breakdown in communications. But this article reads, the would-be assassin, former President Donald Trump, reportedly conducted drone surveillance on Trump's Butler, Pennsylvania rally site in the hours before taking aim at the former president. An avalanche of outrage erupted on social media after a Wall Street Journal article citing, quote, law enforcement officials briefed on the matter, claimed on Friday evening that Thomas Matthew Crooks flew a drone and captured footage of the site shortly before the rally began. One rally spectator was killed, 2 were seriously injured, and the former president's right ear was grazed by a bullet in the shooting. The drone was reportedly programmed by Crooks to fly over the site on a, quote, predetermined path, likely gathering information that would allow the gunman to make a detailed plan for the shooting, the Wall Street Journal reported. Trump supporters, including the former president's son, Donald Trump Jr., and multiple Republican lawmakers, reacted to the report with outrage on X, formerly Twitter. Many also amplified recent GOP calls to fire Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle. Again, Republicans are doing what they do best. They are engaging in a form of performative outrage without actually laying out steps to fix the problem at hand. Yes, there was a security breakdown, but no, it is not because the director of the Secret Service is a woman. That doesn't make sense until you can prove it in an investigation, which I don't think will happen. But Donald Trump Jr. responded to a tweet on X or Twitter from Josh Krasher. It says, quote, the gunman who tried to kill Donald Trump was able to fly a drone and get aerial footage of the Western Pennsylvania fairgrounds shortly before the former president was set to speak there. Donald Trump Jr. responded, just to underscore how crazy this all is, I was once prevented from flying my own drone off of the beach in Mar-a-Lago by U.S. Secret Service because my father was inside the house. Now we have one literally scouting his speech. The only problem is the U.S. Secret Service obviously was not aware that Thomas Matthew Crooks was flying a drone in the first place. They weren't monitoring it for all 10 days since they announced the rally from that date to the date that the rally happened. Donald Trump Jr. is okay to ask questions. You can ask questions about the security breakdown, but he is connecting dots that shouldn't be connected. He is asking the dumbest questions possible, like why didn't they stop the person from flying a drone? They obviously did not know. They weren't aware, and I'm sure there are many security concerns, many valid security concerns about Donald Trump Jr.'s dumbass flying a drone around Mar-a-Lago while the Secret Service is trying to do their own job. In response to the same tweet, Josh Hawley said, yet the Secret Service did not use drones themselves on the day. The shooter was prepared, they were not. And there's a point to be made that the shooter actually outsmarted the Secret Service on multiple levels by getting past them, by having a bomb in his car and using a drone. But if you want to take preventative measures like that, write a letter to the Secret Service or to Kimberly Cheadle. Why would you do performative outrage on Twitter? Senator Rick Scott, just the worst of the worst, said, so a would-be assassin advanced Trump's rally with a drone, yet the Secret Service didn't use a single drone to protect the former president. This isn't just failure, it's dangerous incompetence. We need full transparency and accountability for the American people now. Luke Rudkowski said, how did this kid get to fly a drone before Donald Trump spoke to the crowd? And from somebody who's been to over 20 Trump rallies, the security is quite relaxed at certain Trump rallies. There's 3 different layers is what you need to understand. So there's the layer of Secret Service, the closer, innermost, most protective layer. They were the people that rushed on stage to protect Donald Trump when the shooting went off. There's a second layer comprised of local law enforcement officers who man the perimeter. They make sure they lock down buildings. They are on the edges of the rally, and they are in charge of locking everything down. Then there's a third layer, the long distance snipers, the people that you saw in pictures above Donald Trump. Now, a lot of times, the breakdown will happen on the second layer. If the local law enforcement officers don't have solid communication with the Secret Service, it is very easy for there to be breakdowns. And I have chatted with the local law enforcement officers. They are usually very relaxed. My cameraman and I have walked past them before, no questions asked. We don't buy tickets. We don't have media passes. We walk past them with our camera gear, and obviously we don't mean any harm. We're just going to record some B-roll and some fun interviews. But we sometimes wonder, why are we never stopped by the law enforcement agencies or law enforcement officers when we walk past? Shadow of Ezra on Twitter said Thomas Matthew Crooks, the gunman who tried to kill Donald Trump, was able to fly a drone and get aerial footage of the Western Pennsylvania fairgrounds shortly before Donald Trump was set to speak there. He flew the drone on a pre-programmed flight path earlier in the day on July 13th to scour the Butler Farm Show grounds ahead of Trump's ill-fated rally. The predetermined path suggests Crooks flew the drone more than once as he researched and scoped out the event site. He was researching other Trump events as well. Somebody needs to get arrested. What this MAGA person leaves out is that Thomas Matthew Crooks was not only searching other Trump events, he was also searching for the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. He was also searching for Joe Biden events. He also had photos of District Attorney Fani Willis, so it wasn't just a liberal shooter out to get Donald Trump.
Breaking news, everyone's been asking why a drone wasn't flown over the Trump rally site on July 13th. Well, we just found out from the Wall Street Journal moments ago that a drone was flown over the site hours before the rally, but it was actually operated by the gunman. Joining me now, Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. Senator,
oh my God, really? Laura Ingraham, who's incredibly smug and angry, and Marsha Blackburn, who's that times 10. Marsha Blackburn was following Kimberly Cheadle around the RNC, just disgusting people. But let's watch this clip. Let's get into the mind of MAGA.
This is unbelievable. We are just learning, sources telling the Journal, that the predetermined path suggests that Mr. Crooks flew the drone more than once as he researched and scoped out the site. He was researching other Trump events as well, supposedly also did some search about the Democratic National Convention.
I honestly thought Fox News wasn't going to say that for a second, and I was going to say that is a prime example of them selectively leaving information out about the DNC to try to draw a narrative, but props to Laura Ingraham, who is a pro at spewing disinformation. She actually included the information hesitantly about the DNC.
But this adds to the growing list of questions we have for the Secret Service director. This is getting worse by the day.
Indeed it is, and we have had no transparency. She hasn't done a press conference, which usually the lead agency head will assemble a press conference and let people know what is going on. And Laura, the thing that is so frustrating about this is we're getting these bits and pieces. We're trying to verify and make certain that we know what is information, what is rumor, and that we hold the director to account.
It's okay to hold the director to account or hold the Secret Service to account. It's okay to even ask questions. It's okay to poke and prod, but it's the performative outrage that people like Marsha Blackburn engage in that loses me. It is the performative outrage like following Kimberly Cheadle around the RNC and asking questions about impeachment. Hell, I've seen Republicans calling to arrest the director of the Secret Service when we're only a week into the investigation. Let it unfold. My name is Mockler. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. Make sure you've hit that subscribe button. A lot of people think they're subscribed, but they're not. Go check out the Adam Mockler subreddit, the Adam Mockler Discord, but most importantly, have a great night, and I'll see you soon.